YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, back in a very wintry and wonderlandy Forza Horizon Festival here. As you guys can see, in Horizon 4, it is wintertime. One of the very cool things that we get to experience in Horizon 4 is, in fact, the weather. But for today's video, we are not talking about the weather, man. We have another request as per usual, man. Now, as you guys know, I was looking for builds that were kind of outside the box, a little bit unusual. And for this video, I think we found something or a theme that has a lot of potential. So for this video, Blake Robertson wants to see an off-road slash rally build, nothing in specific, which is why I chose this one. And I think this one has a lot of potential. Now, I do have a few cars that I've won that I do want to soup up. Now, the Gremlin, if you guys want to see a Gremlin build, I think it would be really cool to stuff like a big old Coyote motor in here, maybe a Hellcat engine, if that's a possibility. But since it is winter, there are a couple cars that I think could use the rally slash off-road treatment. Now, one of them being the Escort RS Turbo. Now, with it being a front-wheel drive, I think it would be kind of fun to see how it handles in the snow. But, I mean, these things very fast from the factory. Another option, obviously, as you guys can see, we have quite a few Type Rs. If you guys want to see any one of these built on the channel, definitely let me know. But what I think I'm going to do, since I have this 2013 Mazda Miata, I think it would be really cool to use this as kind of an off-road rally type build, stuff a big old V8. So I think that's what we're probably going to do for this video. If you guys want to see any of these cars built, as you can see, we do have a couple that are already modified. Quite a few of these cars actually will have been sold on the auction house by the time this video is released. But I think for today's video, we are going to go ahead and jump in the 2013 MX-5. And I think this is going to be a great donor car for an off-road slash rally build. So what we're going to do first and foremost is jump into the custom upgrades here real quick. See if we can drop an engine in this thing. Now, like I said, I would like to see a big old V8. I know we're probably going to have a rotary option in here. This looks like the 3.2 liter inline six from the M3, I want to say. You guys let me know down in the comments section. Now, there is a big old 6.2 liter V8. The inline 4 turbo rally, and of course there is the 4 rotor. For this build, man, we gotta go with a big old V8. Now, if you guys know, there is a company, Flying Miata, that does all kinds of V8 swaps, LS swaps. I think they do 5 liter swaps as well, so definitely check them out. That's kind of the theme that I'm going with here. And I'm going to supercharge this thing. As you guys know, turbos have that big old lag right at the beginning, which a supercharger kind of avoids. So we're going to go ahead and do a supercharged V8 inside of this Miata. Now, with the front bumper, since this is going to be an off-road build, we're not going to put any of that front splitters. That stuff's just going to get damaged. Big old wing, too ricey, get rid of it. But for the wheels, since we are in the winter time right now, we're going to throw a snow tire compound. Now, once it goes back to spring, summer, fall, whatever the case may be, these are going to turn into rally tires, which is one of the great things that I like Forza was thinking when they, designed that aspect of the game. You don't have to keep swapping back and forth. Now, because this is going to be an off-road build, we need some off-road rugged style rims. So I'm going to just search through a couple of wheels here, let you guys know when I find something that I think is going to suit not necessarily this car, but the build and look that we're going for here. Now, I was searching through quite a few sets of wheels here, and if we were doing a street build, there are a lot of great options, but since this is going to be an off-road build, I think we're going to go with these 1552 three-piece Formula wheels here. I think they're going to look almost like Diamond Steelies by the time we're done with them. I don't think we're going to big up the wheel size here, keep those at a 17, but I do want to offset them quite a bit, beef that track width up. If you guys are familiar with diamond racing, very, very common on a lot of off-road vehicles. So I think that's going to be a nice fit. With that big old V8, we are going to be upgrading the transmission and clutch. Differential, I think I'm going to leave the stock diff and see how it works for us. We might go back and change that if we need to. Since we're upgrading the engine, you guys know me, brakes, I'm a big fan of brakes, let's just say that. And since we are doing an off-road build, we're going to go with that rally spring and dampers here. Lift that bad boy right up off the ground. And I think that's going to be pretty much it as far as the performance and handling goes. And I think, with the power, we're just going to do an intake and exhaust. Racer special, I've said it before and I'll say it again. But since we put a V8 with a supercharger in this thing, we're really not going to need much more power than we have in this car right now. And now that we got all of that fun stuff out of the way, we're just about ready to tune this thing. Now, as far as the tuning goes, there's not really much that I want to do. Check out our alignment, make sure it's pretty close to square. I'm happy with that. I do want to make sure this thing is raised up all the way, and I think that's going to be pretty good as far as everything goes. We'll test out our gearing once we get this thing out on the road. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to check out some designs and paints. Now, I'm just going to skim through a couple of the recommended designs here, see if I find something that I like. Not really too much going on. I'm going to go ahead and, in fact, type in off-road here and just see if anything pops up. Doesn't look like we have any options for that. So I guess we'll go with, we'll search up some team designs here. Not really too much that I'm seeing that I like here. So what I think we might just do is a Don Squally custom here paint job. So what we're going to do first and foremost is paint this car because it's blue color. I'm just not feeling it here. So what I think we're going to do for the off-roader is probably go ahead and, I think a nice matte color here. Maybe if we do a matte army green here. Something nice and dark, not too vibrant. Much better than the gloss that was on there before. As far as the wheels go, I think black is definitely going to be the way to go. We are going to black out those windows as well. Side mirrors, I think they deserve to be matte black, so I'm going to go ahead, change those up real quick. And there's not too much else that we can matte black here. I think that's looking pretty decent. I mean, as an off-road build, from what it was before to where it is now, I think that's looking pretty decent. So we're going to go ahead and save that to the current car. V8 vehicle here. So once we get out on the snow, I got a funny feeling this thing is going to be a handful to control, but nonetheless, with that army green looking more of a gloss once it gets wet. But here we go now, out of the Horizon Festival site. About to have a little bit of fun now. We are rocking some snow tires on here, so surprisingly, handling the power very well. Not spinning overly that much. I think that's a word or a phrase that is commonly used here. Still haven't found that winner barn find. Like I say, if you guys want to see me just kind of stroll around, play the game, let me know. We'll do a couple of gameplay videos, some storyline videos, but nonetheless, we are out here in the V8 Miata. Just getting past there. Let's take this thing on a couple of off-roading trails. One thing that I'm noticing is that gear ratio. So what I think I might do is just go ahead and tune this thing. Now really what I want to see happen here is just, we're reaching 6th gear a little too quick. I'm going to stretch this out a little more for speed as opposed to acceleration. That's also going to help us grip just a little bit better in those lower RPMs. So coming up this nice twisty, you can see grip, a little bit of an issue, but surprisingly, even though this thing is a rear wheel drive with a V8, I mean, you know, Miatas just handle exceptionally well no matter what engine you put in it. With the right set of tires, these things just great balance from factory. Just an all-around great little package here. So I believe that was a 6.2 liter LS. But let's take it off-road since we did, you know, do this for an off-road swap. Now it is snowing. Like I say, rear-wheel drive is not helping us, but this thing is managing quite well. A little better than I would have anticipated. We're really not spinning out all that much. Even though grip is an issue. Not too bad in the off-road aspect of it. Take her back into the Horizon Festival here. Snowy conditions all around. Now, one of the things I do kind of like, what I also don't like. Now, this build in particular would be one. If it was an off-road build, I would have preferred to do this not in the winter time. Now, there was also a couple of builds that I did have in mind, or that I saw requested, that I couldn't necessarily do because it was winter. So once the winter time passes, we'll be able to get into a couple more of the actual street builds as opposed to these off-road or rally builds, which I kind of felt obligated to do since it was in fact winter time. But overall, I'd say this car, quite a nice build. You know, very easy to handle, very easy to maintain, even in these snowy, slippery conditions. Supercharged V8, just delivering as much power as I need. I'm glad I didn't go ahead and modify this thing because it really didn't need any more power. I mean, you know, we're talking about a tiny little Miata here, so any little bit of power I feel is going to help this thing. But what I think we're probably going to do is enter photo mode here and put an end to this video. So as always, if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. A little bit different, like I say. If you guys do have any oddball requests, drop them down in the comments section, because these are the kind of builds that I kind of want to get done in that realm. Stuff that you're not gonna see every single day, but still fun to get out there, still fun to race with. But with that being said, I am thinking we are probably gonna put an end to this one. So as always, I am your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally. If you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more videos like this, stay tuned, stay subscribed. We got lots more where this came from. In Horizon 4, man, you guys know, very excited to be playing this game. I need a drink of water. I don't know if you guys can tell. Getting a little bit parched here. But as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we're going to catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh, shit. Where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Let's go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, you fucking. Oh, my God.